Councilor Lind sponsored this.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I'm going to invite Julia Stone, the director of the Warming Center, and Rob Flannery, the manager, up. I don't have a lot to say other than thank you to the both of them for taking time out of their evening to be here. And, you know, as a trustee of South Parish Congregational Church, we're extremely proud of the Warming Center and all the work they've done. I don't want to say it's a miracle, but every year we seem to open quite well. This year we had full staff and it's been busy, and I just want to turn over to these two folks to talk about the Warming Center, brag about it a little bit. And again, thank you, Julia. Thank you, Rob, for your work, saving lives during this. It's been an extremely cold winter.
It's
extremely cold. So if it's all right
you,
with you, Mr. Mayor, I'll let them take it away.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor O'Brien and members of City Council. There's a new face that I haven't met yet, so this will be our first time. Welcome. So we're super grateful for the opportunity to come and give an update to you all. We typically give one or two throughout the season, and it's kind of hard to believe that we're already more than halfway through our season. The Augusta Emergency Overnight Warming Center continues to be a safe haven for folks that are experiencing homelessness in our community. We opened November 1st and we run until April 30th like we do each season, and this is our fourth season. We're pretty proud that we've made it this far. When we opened, not all of us really knew what to expect or how this was going to go, and I think we're pretty proud of where we stand today. We would not be able to offer the services that we do and the support to our guests without the amazing working relationship that we have with Augusta PD. And EMS and Chief Groder and Chief Lully and Deputy Chief Brand, they've been instrumental in our ability to be supportive to our guests that are suffering with a lot of different things like substance use and persistent mental illness, things like that. So without them, we just wanted to say thank you to them first because they've been absolutely helpful for us. And thank you, of course, to the city. You guys have always been supportive, and we're just really grateful for the opportunity to give you an update. I am Julia Stone, the director of the Warming Center.
I'm Rob Flannery, the manager of the Warming Center.
I totally skipped the introduction part. I apologize. So as a low barrier warming center, we are a cold weather emergency shelter that's supposed to be a center that makes it so that there's the least barriers possible for people to enter. Folks that don't necessarily meet the requirements for high barrier shelter, we get a lot of those folks. And this year we are definitely at capacity as of the beginning of January, and we're meeting capacity every single night. So while we do exist to keep neighbors from freezing in snowbanks, we really aim to have our guests engage with service providers that we bring in every single week, such as Angles Behavioral Health. We love Danielle, she's amazing. They offer case management services and connection to other resources. Kennebec Behavioral Health. Maine General Harm Reduction Services comes in, and we've just got a lot of awesome service providers in the community that we appreciate that make it successful for our folks. In terms of our funding this year, the center's being funded about 94% by Maine Housing's Winter Warming Shelter Grant. This year, we applied in October, and we did receive it. It was about $427,000, and that funds from November 1st until April 30th. So there's always that time in the summer where we're both working that we're always looking for funding and support with that, but we are in good shape funding-wise this year to get through the operational season. We're very proud of that. It's never always a guarantee, and we have heard that about the governor has proposed a supplemental budget increase for $12 million for next season for the Emergency Housing Relief Fund, and that's the fund that actually funds our operation. So we're hopeful that next season we'll also be able to open. It's always an interesting dance because we never know until about October whether we're going to have the funding to open and operate, but so far it's kind of been a miracle. We've been able to do it, and we're super proud of that. Though we always have to apply for the Maine housing grants, and those have only been available for warming centers for the last 4 years. So we never know if they're going to come up the next year, but it sounds like we're in good shape, hopefully, for at least next season. The donations from the community have been super helpful. They play a major role in what we do, and the city of Augusta was gracious last summer to offer us $13,500 to help support our efforts as well. So thank you very much for that. We appreciate that. We couldn't have gone through the summer without that, so It's really important, and we meet with Jared and Earl every month, and we value that connection with them in the city. Let's see, in terms of staffing this year, because we increased our capacity from 30 to 50 beds, we were able to get additional funding from Maine Housing, and we were able to hire 17 staff this year, which was a pretty big jump from last year. I think maybe we had 10 or 12. So that increase has been awesome and super helpful to have the increase in staff overnight. Those nights with 50 people get very busy. There's a lot going on at one time, and our team has been absolutely amazing in being able to manage that and work with the police and the EMS and to just get through each night safely. We've had 0 overdose incidents as of January, so that's been really great. That's always a success, and as far as we know, no one has died out in the elements. People are coming in, and there are often nights that we have more than 50 come in because the extra people are looking for a bed. So there is definitely a need in this city to support folks that wouldn't qualify for other shelter because of all the different challenges that they face. So we're grateful that we get to kind of step up and meet that need when we can. The other thing we wanted to highlight real quick is we are so grateful for the Access Center and United Community Living Center. Last season, we didn't have organizations that offered open hours during the daytime for folks to go. We never really knew where anybody was going at 7 a.m. when they had to leave us. So working with them and United Community Living Center and kind of filling in those gaps in service has just been such a blessing for our guests and for us, because we would go home just feeling awful that these people had nowhere to go. So I'm really proud of Augusta and the work that organizations have done to kind of just step in and fill that need. So thank you to them for sure. Is there anything else you want to add?
You did a lot.
I'm sure you have questions.
Let's open it up. Counselor Lynn?
Juliet, people finding housing. There's been
Yes.
some numbers, some success stories with people transitioning.
Thank you for reminding me.
Sure.
So as of November 1st, there have been 25 people that have come to us that have found alternate housing, whether it be sober living situations, independent apartments, even high barrier shelter. We work really well with Bread of Life. Just yesterday, they took one of our guests that had just come to us, a 74-year-old woman that didn't have mental health challenges, didn't have substance use, but found herself in this scenario. And
It's 74.
74-year-old woman. Yeah. Yeah. And I was on the phone with Victoria, and Laura and Aaron called me back and said, we got her in, we did their intake, she's good to come. So we work really well with other folks. We're always trying to find the best placement for people. But we've got a lot of folks right now. And I think January was probably our busiest month, looking at our monthly reports, which I did send out. I think we had 52 new people in January, which was relatively high. It's been really cold. There are a lot of folks that get trespassed from other shelters and come to us. And so we're doing the best that we can to manage so that we don't have to turn anybody away.
Anyone else? Counselor Judkins?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You folks, I don't know what to say. You're nothing like short of, basically saints for us. Our community had its struggles a few years back, and since you folks have been up and running, it has smoothed things out. It's not the end solution, but the fact that you can sit here and explain that nobody has died on our streets this year because of the cold. Meteorologically speaking, they say this is the coldest winter we've had in the last 30 years. 30 years. And the best that we've been able to do is to cobble together this safety net, which you folks are the underpinning of. And then the folks from United Community Living Center and the Access Center have taken the day shift. And it's working well. Thankful that it has provided us the time and space to work really, really hard, which we're doing right now to try and develop a better plan for a 24/7 low barrier style type shelter, whatever. There's some different iterations. We're bouncing back and forth, but we've been meeting weekly on that with a small group of us. We've done a lot of good work. It's taken a little bit extra time, but we're being careful to make sure that it's done and done right. And the process wouldn't preclude you from continuing with your mission, nor the other providers continue with their missions as well. And this would help on top of that. But I just, from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you enough. So much appreciated.
I think we feel honored that we get to do it. There's not a lot of different places that are able to step up and offer what we can. And South Parish has been amazing to offer their space and to allow us to do what we get to do. So I
Well,
think,
you're certainly a blessing to the entire community.
thank you.
Are there any trends that you want us to be aware of, either positive trends or troubling trends that you've noticed?
I think in terms of guests or just in general with the operation,
With the operation and or your clients?
I would say positive trends. We have a lot more guests this year interacting with the service providers that are coming in. There's a lot more engagement, I think, than we've had in the past. We were just talking today about, how many guests have we had that have been with us season one that are actually still with us now, and it was under 10. And looking at the total number of folks that have come in, that's not a bad number. And I can understand why some of those folks are kind of still in the same position that they are in. But to have 25 folks find alternate housing 3 months into a season is pretty astronomical for us, and we're pretty proud of that. Positive trends are other organizations. I'm just so proud of when we started in 2022 to now, to see Augusta really kind of come up underneath this and go, this is an issue. We all need to work together. There's not one simple solution. And it takes every single one of us. And I'm watching that happen. And I'm watching other cities not have that same sort of focus or ability to do that. And so I'm just really proud to be a part of Augusta when it comes to that. In terms of other trends, it's pretty typical. I mean, we still have about 60% that identify as Augusta residents or within 15-mile radius. We always get a handful from Gardner, Winthrop, but it's minimal. But those, in addition to the ones that I identify as Augusta, it's about 60%. And I've looked at other numbers of other shelters like Mid-Maine. They're running about 60% that identify for Waterville and surrounding areas. So we're right there where other places are. Any other trends? It's pretty consistent. I mean, what we see every year is pretty consistent. We've just had a little bit higher of a number this year, and I think we all anticipated that, right? The housing costs, the rent costs, everything. The lack of housing, the lack of physical buildings for people to be. I mean, we're going to see numbers increase, I think, every year until other solutions are put into place.
Did I have hands?
Oh, yeah.
Councilor Gary
Hi, Julia. Hi, Bob. It's nice to see you in a different capacity tonight. There's not a lot of times that I get emotional while sitting on mic and in front of the camera, but I was just getting really emotional and about the reflecting on a couple of winters ago when we just didn't know where people were going to go during the day, and the power of collaboration between, and I have a hard time talking about my work, but the power of the collaboration of the organizations that have come together this year is that we have patched together 24-hour, 7-day-a-week access to indoor spaces. And again, like Councilor Judkins said, it's not perfect, but it is the spirit of Augusta. Mm-hmm. It is the get things done spirit of Augusta that has shined really bright for me this winter. And I want to also highlight your guys' ability in the cold snap to meet, all the providers where we were at and to make a emergency plan on the spot and get it done. And we all, once again, in Augusta spirit, rose to the occasion. And I'm just so grateful for you guys.
Thank you. We're grateful for you.
Yes. Counselor Sinkowitz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Julia and Rob, for coming down and giving us the update. I always look forward to hearing from you every year to see how things are going. Something I'm struck with when I think about this update compared to years past is the shift from the 30 to the 50 beds and how many people you're having come through. And I'm not noticing a significant increase in your APD contacts. And I think that really speaks to the trust that you've built with your community and also the staff. This, to me, they go up slightly over the months, but if I'm remembering right from years past, this is really similar to the amount of contacts that you had.
Fairly consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Like, the numbers really haven't changed a whole lot when it comes to that. Even though we've increased the beds, we've also increased the staff. So there's a lot more attention and focus and one-on-one contact with guests. And I think our relationship with the police department and EMS, we call them when we need them.
Right.
And they're always responsive and compassionate and show up discreetly. And I just think building that relationship too over 4 years has really helped in terms of the way calls are handled when we do have to call. But our staff this year is phenomenal. We actually had 302 applicants for this job in 3 months, which was like, what do we do with that? We can't interview 302 people. But that surprised us too, that a lot of folks are really interested in what we do and want to be a part of it. And so to have 17 staff has been really helpful. So we try to always have 5 when we open. We have 2 different shifts, 4 p.m. to midnight, and then 11:30 to 7:30 in the morning. And we try to have 5 at opening and at least 3, maybe 4 on the overnight shift. It's a little less because folks are typically sleeping, hopefully. But I think that increase in staffing and honestly, we didn't have a manager the first 2 years, so I was just kind of winging it, trying to do the best that I could. So Rob has been a huge, huge asset to managing the staff and managing the operations downstairs, and I get to do my piece of it over here, and I think we just work really well together. And it's taken 4 years to get here, and we're still learning. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. We grow. We're just one night at a time. One night at a time is kind of our philosophy, so.
Yeah, I think that really speaks to, we have heard that Augusta as a community wants a place for people to be, and they want it to be a good place for everybody involved. And your statistics here are showing that you're able to live up to that, and that is really remarkable. And I echo everybody's comments about being deeply grateful to the work you and your team are doing, because it's important work, and it's very, very meaningful. I was wondering, when you're looking at the alternative housing placements for people, I think the answer is probably just there's not enough. But in case there's something else, are there things you're seeing that we should be aware of that are keeping people from finding housing placements?
I think one of the biggest challenges that we've seen, even from the very beginning, which was kind of eye-opening to us, is that a lot of the guests that are coming to us are elderly, with underlying medical conditions. They're not always getting ongoing treatment for those. And a lot of those folks really are in this place of they don't want to also go to like an assisted living facility, right? That's a huge transition in life for anybody, especially someone that has any sort of mental health issues or substance use issues. So there is this like handful of population that we might be able to find them a place, but they are also not willing to. And it tends to be the older population, I think, that I see. There are a lot of folks that get into other placement, but it also isn't successful, so it's short-lived. So that's tough too. We see a lot of folks go out that also come back to us. Anything else?
Well, that's good information for us to have when we're thinking about, choices the city can make that might be helpful for the populations that are difficult to find housing for.
And I've spoken to other shelters too, and they're saying they see the same thing. Like their lobby is filled with wheelchairs and walkers, and it's tough because you send them out at 7 a.m. in the snow and they have a walker. And so it's just this population that we're seeing, they get discharged from the hospital and there's nowhere to go. There's no discharge plan, so they end up with us, and that's difficult.
Yeah, that's something that I think we'll give some thought to. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilor Lynn?
Just a couple of things I want to highlight. First, Rob, I haven't heard you be this quiet in a very, very long time. It's kind of awesome, actually. So,
One line.
going back, I don't know who was here in 2020, but, we lost people in the wintertime. People froze in this city. It was kind of gut-wrenching. And it put together a protocol, and that included calling GA. So our GA office was answering calls all night during the wintertime, and that was extremely stressful. So I want people listening to understand that not only is the value of saving lives, but there was nothing there, literally nothing at night for people. And think about this winter. And correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, but one of those elderly people was over 80 years old, I believe, over 80, out in this cold. And leaving the hospital ended up in the warming center. So, that was a surprise for me. It kind of stopped me in my tracks when I started thinking about someone over the age of 80 ending up at the warming center. So thanks for what you guys are doing. And, Rob, thanks for putting the staff together. I know you did a lot of work.
We have great staff. We worked hard to build this, and again, something that we've learned through the years of what is needed, what will make the center better, what is best for our community and our guests. And the big thing is we get them from all ages. I mean, couple of years ago, we had a 90-year-old man dropped off at 4 because they lost power and no place at that point to put him. So, I mean, the ages from 18 up until 90. And I really do want to thank the Access Center and UCLC, because biggest part of my stresses in the morning or every day was, where are these guys going to go? Yep. Dunkin' Donuts, the library, all these, a lot of them end up getting trespassed. And so when those 2 places open this year, it's been like a huge relief. When we get new people, well, they're new to the city or new, not familiar. Well, it's nice to be able to say, well, there's, the Access Center down over the hill. They can offer you this, this, and this. Go talk to, this person. Same thing with UCLC, So those have been a huge asset to us and to the city, I believe. And, so like Julia's saying, all of this is a team effort, starting from here, Access Center, UCLC, the city, the police department, and actually the citizens of Augusta through their donations and support. So, it's.
So speaking of that, if someone's watching, they want to donate, how would they go about doing
Every
that?
time.
How would they go about doing that?
So we have the Augusta Emergency Overnight Warming Center Facebook page, and I think our QR code is up there. They can also call South Parish Church, and we have PayPal online at the South Parish Church website. They can also come to the office and talk to us if it's a monetary donation. Folks are constantly coming to the church, dropping off coats and mittens and gloves and all that stuff that we always need, so they can come right to the church.
It's easy to remember. It's on Church Street.
It's on Church Street, yes.
Church on Church Street.
They always go to the wrong door, though, so we just see
Okay.
people like wandering in the parking lot, and we're like, well, they're here for us, so go get them.
Great, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, well, Julia, Rob, thank you very much.
Thank you for having
Extend our
us.
thanks to your staff,
Absolutely.
and thanks to South Parish Church as well.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For having us.